In today's tip, we're going to have a look at some new features that have just been released for what used to be known as Outlook Web Access and is now known as Outlook on the Web. And without any further ado, we're going to hop into Lisa Jones' account and have a look at what is new. Here I am in Lisa Jones' online Outlook in Office 365. So this is her Outlook on the Web. And you'll see that it has a nice clean interface. It's been streamlined somewhat. On the left we have our folders, and we can choose to keep showing all folders or see just a few. So going back, that gives us just our favorites, or going to more will show us all of the folders. So it's all about keeping things nice and clean. The inbox is much cleaner as well. And up at the top here we've now got a kind of toolbar going along the top with some options. So the new email option has moved. Instead of it being over here in blue, it's now sitting up at the top. And what you'd also be interested to know is that as I hover and it says N, if I press the letter N, it starts a new email. So just like on the desktop, to start a new email when you're in the Mail app, you do Control and N. In the web one, you just need the letter N. So I'm going to discard that one because I don't actually want it. I can also choose a new calendar event from here as well, should I so wish. I can delete an email now right from here. So if I find one that I don't want to keep, for example this one, I can now delete it from here, from that delete button there, or I can delete it from the button up at the top and it's now gone. There's quite a few from this particular person. Now I can also archive emails, and this is quite useful. It gets them out your inbox and it gets them into a safe place. So when you do this the first time, it will actually ask you whether you want to create a folder called archive or whether you want to allocate a different folder for it. Now I've already created the archive, so if I click archive, the email I was just on has gone in the archive. So let's go find it. If I click more, right down here at the very bottom is my archive folder. If I click on it, you'll see there are the two emails that are in there. Now when I hover over archive in the navigation pane, there's a star, and if I click the star, that will pop that archive folder there into favorites. So I'm in my inbox, I want to see what's in my archive, and I can get to it really quickly without expanding the whole list. And you can do that for any folder that you always want to have on your list. You can star them and they will stay there all the time. If I have an email which I want to mark as junk, I can mark it as junk from here, and I can also sweep. Now sweep is Outlook on the Web's short email rules, and I could look at emails from admin at the IT Training Surgery. I could either delete or archive all the messages. I could delete or archive all messages from the inbox and any future messages. I could always keep the latest message and delete or archive the rest, and I could choose to always delete or archive messages that are older than 10 days. So all ways to help you keep on top of that overwhelming inbox. We also have the Move To button, which I really like. This allows you, just like in the desktop client, to save or move email to specified folders, and it will remember the last 10 folders that you put things in. So there's archive at the top of the list because that was the last folder we filed something in. I could create a new folder from here or move to a different folder by clicking and then going to choose that folder. I can expand the inbox and choose a different one, and I'll move that one to tips. And then on my move to, tips goes to the top and National Army Museum has dropped off the bottom. I can also choose to move all email from admin that's in my inbox if I want to. I can now also categorize my email. So if I've got, there's an email from admin, I can now add a category to that email which allows me to differentiate within my inbox. The three ellipses, the three dots here, give me more options, and you'll see that we have pin and unpin, which are brand new. So again, if I come back in, and you'll see there's a little pin icon there, it keeps this message at the top of my folder. So if I click on the pin, it now stays at the top of my folder, and if I pin that one as well, they will both be there at the top. That's really helpful if you, and they're highlighted in yellow as you see. Really helpful. You've had 100 emails today and there are 2 or 3 that you really want to keep at the top of your list, and you can pop them there to make sure that you use them, and then I can unpin them when I've dealt with them, and then I can move them by clicking or mark it as unread or read, and then I can obviously move it to the folder it needs to go in. So those are just a few of the new things that are here in Outlook on the web. One last thing, a new undo button top right here. This will undo when it's live, will undo your last action. So if I was to categorize this and then undo is not working, but if I move it to the archive, then the undo becomes free. So it will undo the last move that you did. So if you move something to the wrong place, it will come back again. So there we have some of the brand new features in Outlook on the web. I know that they're going to be extremely useful. I've already had some feedback from Helen, the administrator at the IT Training Surgery, saying how useful the pinning feature is, and we're very excited about these new features. So see you on the next video, and have fun, and do let me know in the comments on the blog what you think about the tips and how they've helped you. I really would appreciate that.